Now we're going
Yeah.
on. I think it sounded like he didn't have power at his house.
He used some kind of electricity to send that message.
Well, he has a phone.
Well, then he should be fine.
I read your message and I agreed with you, but this is Rob, and
He sounded a little grumpy.
he was definitely not happy when he got home, and didn't take kindly to my ribbing. So,
No,
Yeah,
he didn't.
no,
as
Not nuts.
I am now known as Nuts of Numb.
So do we have? Oh, we're live already. So okay.
Yeah, well, we got to do that to get Alpha Geek up to speed.
Oh, right.
So we do a pre-show now. Remember?
That's right. Do we have topics?
Oh God, I don't know. Somebody built a doc. I'm assuming there must be topics.
I put a topic in it. I don't know if it's a valid topic because it's not about comic books or Star Wars.
What?
I
No,
you know
no,
I
Rob,
got
and
one.
we're gonna have a real topic. Come on.
I got one. I'm finding it real quick.
Okay, that's good. Don't worry, I won't read it.
I'm looking for it.
Where is our live feed on YouTube? I'm not finding it. Home. No, I didn't want home. I wanted my channel. My channel.
I don't know that this is the best link, but it'll work.
Oh, that's me. Oops. I didn't want my channel. I wanted. Oh, is that my
chat?
channel?
I'll put it in the chat so Keith will see it since he doesn't read the docs.
Just search YouTube for YouTube. So if the internet explodes now, it's my fault.
I forgot to get before the show.
A glass?
No, I got a glass. I got the beer. I actually forgot the beer. Well, you guys can look at that article and see if you think that's a good topic to talk about. At least just the headline.
I don't know what's going on here.
Blah, 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 blah. Where's the doc? Topic, you. You know, I'm sick of all this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the live feed on YouTube so I can put it into Alpha Geek, because that's what I'm supposed to do now.
I tweeted it earlier today. You can find that.
And I can't find it right now. The opening for a Chocobesa show, which was actually really funny.
Okay.
Do you think that's the same one that you tweeted? Funny. This is what you're saying. Is if I go into Slack and roll back. Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Go there. And that'll be us, so I'll get caught in the loop. No, that just goes to the show channel. The show page.
Well, that goes to the YouTube page.
Yeah, but our feed's not there, even though we're broadcasting.
Oh, you're looking for the Alpha Geek feed, that one?
Well, no, I've got to get the YouTube live page to put into the Alpha Geek server to start that thing.
Uh-oh. I think I did it.
So.
Yep, I found it.
Okay. Can you put it in chat for me?
Either the show notes.
Show note? No, don't put it in show notes. I never streamed that. That'll never work.
It's the second link that I posted in chat. It looks like it's all one link, but you start with you'll find it. You know about computers.
I don't understand computers at all. Alright, so there's a link in chat. Chat. There we go. So this is us. So the fun part about this is it starts a loop in my head because there's like a 30-second delay. All right, so
This is podcasting at its best. I'm so glad we're live.
So now should be able to do.
See, it's a good topic, right?
It is. I'm really sick of that. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to go
We're
off.
gonna talk about that. Oh,
Yes.
grumpy old man strikes again. Woo! Get off my freaking lawn!
God, just, what if somebody decided
Save
that...
it. Save it for the discussion.
Yeah. Pre-show. I'm trying to find... I found an awesome link last time I had this debate with a moron.
This could be a frequent debate with a lot of different morons.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's stop this then. Why is everything quiet now? Okay, you guys are ready?
Okay. We're waiting for you to start the show.
See, it was just noisy in here a minute ago because I kept hearing you guys repeat the same things over and over again. That's just in my head that happens. Okay, so here we go. All right, so welcome to PNR Show Season 3, Episode 13, lucky number 13, Rochfort 8. Some semblance of the title.
I'll take a strong stout over strive. I'd prefer to confer with a half pint of ale than live a long life till my private parts fail. Life without liquor is too noble, so bring me lager for life. I'd rather have lager than life.
Hello, everyone. If you haven't noticed, we are Robless this week, so I will be your host, Numbnuts. These are my two co-hosts, Lefty and Righty. As we start out the show with the inside joke that no one will get. Hello, kid.
Rob will get it when he watches the show.
Yeah, that joke was just for Rob, and he never goes back to watch the show, so he'll never get it.
Yep.
So yeah, our illustrious show host, our the leader of the gang, at least for while we're on the air, is it's got a little bit of rain in Texas and possibly a power outage, and he just definitely seems grumpy about it, and it's just he said he's not going to be here.
Yeah, I think he should man up and just come to the show. If he's got a cell phone and a cell signal, he should be on the show.
I think so. At least enough to point it outside and show us the rain.
Yeah.
At least that.
I did go and look up the weather in Houston, and just north of Houston, when I looked about an hour ago, it did show a line of storms, and he is just north of Houston, and they were purple, which I thought was odd until I went and looked up, and that's like the heaviest, nastiest rain you can get beyond red is purple. So he is probably getting pummeled right now with borderline hurricane crap.
I did notice that the weather was kind of warm, so he can go swimming. There's lots of water to swim in right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, if he's truly getting flooding too, there's a pond behind his house that'll probably get closer and closer to his back fence as flooding happens, which will be nice for him to go swimming in because he can join his friend the alligator.
Nice. Well, I think we should drink to Rob's flooding and swimming with alligators.
Yeah, I think so. being as this is the last minute thing, and I don't, of course, read the show notes, I have no idea if we have any feedback, so we're going to skip that section. I'll play something, though, for it anyway.
Phenomena. Phenomena.
There we go.
Phenomena.
And with very old Muppets, that brings us to whatever part of the show it is where we drink the beer.
To the pint.
To the
That's
pint.
it. So we're continuing on with our Trappist series, specifically the Rochfort. And this week we're working our way backwards. So last week was 10, this week is 8.
Trappist, I can't even say that word. Rochfort?
Rochfort.
A brown ale. It's brewed in, did we talk about this? We probably talked about this last week. The Abbey of St. Remy in Rochfort?
Yeah, I think which is in France.
Somewhere, I don't know. But it's one of the actual Trappist beers.
Yep.
So.
Odd that French would brew a Belgian beer, but.
And we're doing 8, right?
Yeah, we're doing 8.
Okay, good. I'm glad I opened the right bottle. This is definitely like it's pouring like a soda, like a Coke. Like it's got this head that comes up and then just goes down.
I have not. I've looked online a little bit for this to see where the numbers actually come from, and I don't know if they correspond directly to aging months or anything like that, but they seem to correspond roughly to the alcohol in them. So last week we had number 10, which was at an 11% alcohol by volume, at least how it's measured today. Now we're drinking 8, which is coming in at a 9, and I believe if we check the 6, it comes in around 7.
Yeah,
so
it's about that.
Yeah. So
there is a little bit of info on there. So 8 is the newest of the Rochfort Trappist beers. Started in 1955. It was brewed for a New Year's Eve celebration. So it's not a very old Trappist beer. I mean, it's older than us, but as beers go, it's not very old. So,
I like when things older than us can be called young. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. It's also referred to as the special, whatever that means. Yeah, look at that.
I can tell you it smells very much like last week's. The nose on it is very similar, very Belgian-y. Dark and rich, with the sweetness coming right off the top, almost like a banana kind of smell to it.
Yeah, that last one was a very sticky sweet. I wonder if this will be a little more toned down.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Bottoms up, friends.
Cheers.
Rochfort, number 8.
Wow. Bananas and raisins and plums and cloves.
Yeah, exactly. It tastes like one of those really good. What do I want to call this? What's that pudding that's actually more of a cake that you usually serve with whiskey in the wintertime? Is that bread pudding? This is like a really good bread pudding.
Bread pudding.
It's a little boozy. It's got sweet, like dried fruit flavor.
It's definitely not quite as bold as the other one. The other one had, it was very strong in pretty much every respect, flavor, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. This one's a little bit more toned down. I can see it. I'm assuming that if they're going in order, that 6 will be even a little bit more toned down than this, but it's definitely mellower than the other one. Maybe I got a different bottle or a different batch, or probably on the same batch, but I don't know. Mine is not. I'm not getting that wow factor that you guys are getting.
It's compared to last week's. It is a little off, but honestly, the sweetness is a little more defined in this one. It's all there still. It seems just as sweet as last week's.
But it doesn't have that boozy edge cutting into it.
Yeah, it doesn't have that boozy edge, and it's definitely, you couldn't really identify the sweetness. It was a general, like, syrupy sweetness, whereas this, Jeremy and I at least were able to pick out, like, raisins and fruits and bananas and things to the sweetness. We could identify it a little better.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not getting that quite that. I'll go first because I think I'm probably going to be the lower of the range. So last week, the 10 beer was scored a 9.25 for us. That was one of the highest rated beers we've had. And since Rob isn't here this week, he's going to have to drink 2 next week. Which I hope he does. That'll be really entertaining.
Yeah, 9% and a 7%. Yeah, do them both, Rob.
Yeah. So I gave the 10 a 9, and I'm going to keep in line with that, and I'm going to give the 8 an 8. I guess that's not keeping in line with much. It's good. I mean, it's very good. It's just not quite. I guess it's not quite as overwhelming in terms of flavor for me. It's a little bit stepped back, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes those big beers, you can only drink them so often because it's kind of too much for you. This would be a beer that you could drink a lot more consistently, a lot more often, and maybe have 2 of it a night instead of just 1, because that 11% is probably going to knock you out. But at 9%, it still packs a pretty good punch of alcohol, but it doesn't have any of that boozy edge that you guys talked about. But it's a good beer. I mean, it's a very, very tasty, refreshing, a lot more quaffable than the last one. So,
Yeah.
a solid 8.
Yeah, compared, I don't know if I like it less than last week's. It's a different beer for sure, but still, to me, it has a great complexity of flavor. It's easy to drink. It's smooth. It has a great mouthfeel. I like the carbonation in this one a lot too. It's not really bright and bubbly. You can feel it just a little bit in your mouth, but it's very smooth. Really long finish too. Just because it's different than last week, I don't know. I can't really pick the one I like the best, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with a 10 on this one because it's fantastic.
Jeremy is.
I like it so much.
Yes, it's definitely, it speaks. If you're into those Belgians and those wild yeasts and things, this kind of speaks to you. There's no doubt about it. I think oh man, it's just comparing one to the other is almost not possible. I would want I want last week's 10, after a big meal and, sitting by a fire, just kind of sipping in the middle of winter. Yeah. This one, I kind of want paired with a dessert. So the end of a meal, and then maybe hopefully next week will be my dinner beer. I don't know. We can just kind of do them in order some night. I may try that. I definitely like this as much as the other one. I can't really knock it down any either. It's different. I mean, it has the same feel to it. It has the same mouth feel. It has the same texture, which is really, really good. But it is just, the flavor profile is just so much different and not better, but definitely not worse. So I like the fruitiness of this a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it a 10.
Hey, Keith, could you send Rob an invite? Looks like he's trying to join.
Oh,
he can't find the invite.
I didn't send him one because I thought he was up. So
Poor Rob.
Let numbnuts take care of this.
I really hope Rob joins because he will have some great input onto the topic. So I posted a list of things in the show notes that are going to be our counter discussion to the main topic. If Rob shows up.
He's joining.
Hey, there's Rob.
Hi, it's dark.
Hello! It was a dark and stormy night.
I'm not sure if I can sit somewhere where you can sort of see me. Hi.
Hey, that works. Sort of.
It is dark there.
You need to throw up like a.
You do the noir thing very well.
You need to throw up like a voice modulator.
It's like the Blair.
More importantly, can you find the beer in the fridge, and do you want to try it real quick?
I've got it in front of me.
Okay, well we've done our 3 reviews, so give us yours without any info. Let's see what you think.
Okay, so it's going to be out of the bottle.
All right.
Ooh, I like the aroma. Nice maltiness, hoppiness. Mm-hmm. Smells good. Mmm. It's very bready. It's got a lot of bread flavoring to it. You know what I'm saying? A roundness, very, very nicely finished off, like a good lager, but a little heartier than a lager.
A lot hardier.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no need.
No, it's okay. You know, you're working blind, quite literally. So.
Yeah.
I can't see color. I can't see anything. Maybe a little bit of maybe it's a tiny bit of either like a toffee or a I don't want to say chocolate, but it's almost like a chocolate. There's
Caramel.
Caramel. Maybe that. There's something deep down that I can't quite pick out.
Jeremy and I think it's kind of like raisins or caramelized bananas or something like that.
Currants or something.
Very, very, very fruity.
It
bread
does.
pudding.
It does.
And like a dessert fruit.
It does evoke memories of the banana bread beer just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it tastes like banana, but there's a similar texture and flavor to it. I like it. It's very good. I would give it a nice strong 7.
Ooh, Rob.
What's that give us?
Did I
As soon as I learn how to type, I can tell you.
I assume
So-
sounds like mine was the highest.
No,
Yours
Not
was
at
the
all.
lowest.
you were the lowest.
So that gives us an 8.75. Still a very high rated beer in the show. So Rob, just for your
It's
review,
really good. You know, I could push that to an 8. Push it to an 8. Give me an 8.
Fine. Okay, now we're at an even 9. So Jeremy and Keith were both at a 10.
Wow.
You and I were both at an 8, which averages out to a 9, which is still probably in the top 5 beers that we've rated on this show.
And two of the last two of them were among those. Wow. So Trappists are good. Yeah.
Yeah, nailing it.
They are definitely doing something right.
There's something about brewing beer for hundreds of years that tends to really let you dial it in.
Yeah, it's very tasty.
Good stuff. I'm looking forward to the next one.
I love that whenever Rob talks, we just go to a black screen now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
going to be the best video ever.
I turned my camera off, so now you just have a picture.
Oh, okay.
That's a good idea.
That's
Hey,
actually
Rob,
a better idea.
can you see the chat?
No.
Okay, never mind. We'll set you up perfectly.
I don't think that I can.
We have a
Probably
topic for
not.
tonight. Well, actually, we have 2 topics for tonight, right?
Yeah, if you want to do them both, we could do both.
Yeah, we should do Keith real quick.
Right?
Keith.
What?
Yeah.
That's the bumper music cue, Keith.
Bumper music cue? Got it.
Bum.
I'm all over it. It's a call on me.
You should have played Stormy Weather.
With a little more notice, I could have pulled that off.
Yeah.
That would be a lot like
Let me
preparation.
just tell you before you go into your topic, if I could do a little mini topic.
Oh boy.
I have never in my life, and I've lived in Texas now for almost 8 years, almost 9 years. I have never seen rain like this, like that, like driving home. I had to go like 5 different alternate routes. I was driving in rain that was up to and past the bottom edge of my car door. I was driving in rain that was going not straight down, not at a slant, not sideways, but like upwards. I mean, it's crazy. We had in our area, in our county, we had 6 to 8 inches of rain fall in a 2-hour period, and 8 to 12 inches of rain in some local spots in 2 hours.
Wow.
And there's still more to come. Right now, it's a bit of a lull. We don't have power, obviously, but that was crazy. I mean, I've heard about and seen it on television, flash flooding, but never experienced it until today, and that's pretty freaking scary.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we're glad you made it home. That sounds pretty serious. I mean, we looked at the weather, and it looked like what did you say, Keith? It was purple on the map, which is color.
Yeah, I did check the weather radar for Houston, and it showed just north of Houston where you were lines of purple, which I had to look up on the weather map to see what the hell purple meant.
Yeah, it's
and
pretty bad.
When you go beyond red for the storm, that's what you get. You get purple.
I don't know if this is a Texas term or if it's you've heard this term in other places, but we had the storm system is what they call training, which means it's set up lengthwise across your area, and it just keeps the front just keeps moving straight across you, perpendicular. So it just keeps dumping rain. The front doesn't pass you, and then the weather's over. It just keeps passing over you again and again and again, like a train running through, which is just like crazy rain. So yeah. Anyway, your topic. What's your topic?
So Keith posted this in Slack earlier today, or actually you tweeted it, right? And that's what showed up in Twack.
Yeah.
So Old Tankard Ale, brewed by Pabst. So PBR folks are brewing a beer called Old Tankard Ale, and Keith said he really wants to find this. So Keith, tell us about Old Tankard.
I actually looked for it today on the way home just to see if it was out already, because they showed it in several places already hitting the markets, but it was not where I was, at least. So I'm going to keep an eye out for this. But this is interesting. This is Pabst going into their library in an extent, in an effort to compete with craft beers, and they're pulling out old recipes. They did one last year. Similar to this, which is they brought back the Ballantine, pale ale that hit markets nationwide, and it isn't bad. It's not a bad beer, but it's kind of neat to bring it back out of the archive. And now they're doing this again with the Old Tankard. I think they tried to get craft beer, the Craft Beer Council to approve it as a craft beer, but they said no, so it's still technically a macro brew. But it is being done in the old way that it used to do, and this used to be Pabst's number 2 beer to its Blue Ribbon way back in the day. And it's supposed to be like this hoppy amber beer that they used to brew, and it just looks, the pictures they show of it, the marketing they're putting behind it looks pretty good. The descriptions they have of it, and the people who have tried it all say they would not be embarrassed to take this to a party with other craft beers. It's looking really good, and I'm kind of a closet fan of PBR Blue Ribbon anyway. I think it's one of the better of the macro brews, so I'm kind of excited to see what they're doing with this.
Yeah, PBR is pretty much the least offensive bad beer you can buy.
Right.
I drank a lot of it when I was remodeling the house we used to live in. My friend would come over, and that's just, we drink that stuff because you could drink it like water, and it doesn't taste horrible. Easy to drink beer. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. What are they calling it? Old Tankard.
Old Tankard. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So the website. I was going to say, the website says this is the original brewer's log recipe from 1937. Brewed with 2-row imported Cara Munich and Cara Aroma malts with Nugget, Liberty, Willamette, and Cascade hops. So a nice hop blend.
And one of our Pacific Northwest fans can chime in on the correct pronunciation of that hop. But the
Willamette.
it'll be interesting because in the video, if you watch the video, it sounds like they're saying we can't get exactly these ingredients anymore, but we think it might have tasted like this, and they've actually tried to duplicate the older ingredients with modern ingredients. So yeah, we'll have to get some for the show and
I
let you
think
know what we
definitely,
think.
and the thing is, it's going to come in those pint cans, which I love. I'm a big fan of canning. So it's going to come in pint cans, but and 4-packs of that are going to be sold for like $6, $7. So completely
Nice.
approachable and affordable.
That's not craft beer.
Well, that's just it. If this is any good, that alone is gonna sink a few hearts of a few craft brewers out there who like to sell those pint cans at the $8, $9, $10 a 4-pack.
Well,
So
our 11.2 ounce Trappist beer was like $6 or $8 for the
yeah.
bottle. So, well, since it's PBR, since Pabst is brewing this, I would imagine it'll be nationally distributed at some point. If it's not already, I looked in my area and it's not around this parts yet. But hopefully, in the coming weeks, we'll be able to pull it up on the show.
Yeah, their distribution should be pretty much everywhere, right?
I kind of poked Pabst on Twitter to see if they could just maybe send us some, because we're a big nationally known podcast and should let us make their beer for them. But
our listener will be happy.
Or they, but they did favorite our tweet, so I guess we'll start there.
Baby steps.
Yeah, and it looks like Rob got either his phone died or his house flooded. So he
Rob, we hope you had a life preserver wherever you are. Float to safety, my friend.
Oh man,
we'll save you a tankard.
Did you see that video? Sorry to get off topic on the topic. Remember the fires in Canada? What was it? A week ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Did you see the video from the home security camera that recorded the house being destroyed from inside?
No.
Oh yeah, I gotta see if I can find that for you. It was.
Oh, you got to find show notes for sure.
That would be interesting to see. I've always said that my house, I should have burnt it down when I bought it because it would have been easier to rebuild it than it would have been to fix it. So I'd like to see what it would look like burning down. Now I don't want to burn it down because I put too much work into it, but 20 years ago I should have. All right.
That'll be in the show notes for everybody that wants to go see it.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I will link that.
So moving on to our other topic. Do you have bumper music for topic 2, or do we just go right
Sure. Bumper 2 topic music. Go with that.
I was really hoping that you would have queued up the right bumper music for that. Come on.
The best I could have done for the theme we have is this one. Is that better?
Nah, that's
a little better. Closer, but still.
Yeah, that's there. So if you've been paying attention to the internet this week, you probably noticed something about Gillian Anderson and James Bond. Apparently, it started on Twitter or somewhere on social media because Daniel Craig, as we've talked about before, has no interest in stepping up as James Bond in the next movie, which I don't even know if they've announced a movie, but Daniel Craig has said quite publicly that he's done being James Bond after a couple of injuries and the hassle of making the last movie. He's done. So the internet has nominated the next James Bond, and it's going to be a Jane Bond, and Gillian Anderson is clearly the favorite among internet fans to be the next James Bond. So we're going to talk about that, and James Bond, clearly a very strong male character, a lot of history there, a lot of backstory there. And, is that okay to have a woman step into the role of James Bond?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
All right, go Jeremy. Go Jeremy.
Okay, so
this is the part where we sit back and relax for a little bit.
Listen to Grumpy Old Man. So
we've got Jeremy monologuing. It's perfect.
Okay, hang on.
We're going to sip our beers now.
Let me finish pouring my second beer so I can sip on it as I go into my diatribe. This is a Russian River supplication, by the way.
Oh, nice pick.
Choice.
Nice follow up from the Trappist. Okay, so man, that's good beer. So James Bond, the character, was created by Ian Fleming, and there's absolutely no doubt at all as to what Ian Fleming envisioned this character looked like and acted like. He was a white guy. He was a British white guy. He had black hair. He had blue eyes.
Well, he was himself.
There's all kinds of evidence as to what Ian Fleming envisioned for this character. He hired an artist to sketch what James Bond looked like when they wanted to make a comic strip from him. And this is back in the 50s. So,
wow.
James Bond is a very well-defined character. The creator of the character told us exactly what he looks like, exactly how he acts, so we should respect that vision. Now, if people want to take Gillian Anderson or whoever and make a complementary character in the James Bond universe, that's awesome. That would be really cool. But it's really an insult to the creator of the character when you have exactly what the vision was, to change it so dramatically. That's my opinion. Thoughts?
So, you could argue, though, that the era in which the creator grew up in, was born in, created James Bond in, was a male-dominated era. I mean, you didn't create strong female characters back when James Bond was originated. So if you created James Bond today, would James Bond necessarily be a man?
Well, here's another thought, right up the same vein of what you're doing. What era are we in today? We're in the era of the rise of the transgender. So why not have Gillian Anderson be maybe a pre-operative James Bond?
Why?
And so my point is proven. Respect the vision of the creator and enhance the universe. Don't try to reinvent it.
Or post-operative, maybe? I don't know.
My God. So okay, get off the key subject. I don't know where he's going. I tend to agree with Jeremy. James Bond was, like Jeremy said, clearly a male character. That's, spies back in that era when James Bond came out were predominantly men, although I'm sure there were women that contributed greatly to various covert operations in the day. And I think that the idea that we need, strong female role models is admirable, but I think you come up with your own character. Like Jeremy said, maybe create, 008, 006, whatever you want to do. Have another 00 agent that is a strong female character and make movies about that. There's no reason to get rid of the male James Bond just to create a female character in that role.
Yeah,
one of the most famous spies of all time. Real spy, Mata Hari, was a woman and predated James Bond. So if Ian Fleming wanted to make a strong female character who was a spy, he had a real-life role model he could have used.
Yeah, I think the idea, just like they're doing with Rogue One, let's stop with the rebooting. Let's stop with the remaking. Let's start expanding. I like the idea of these expanded universes. Let's take the world of James Bond and add to it, not change it. Just like they're doing with Rogue One and Star Wars, just like they should be doing with some of these comic book things. Stop remaking Batman and start telling me more stories, such as the upcoming Suicide Squad. That's kind of a telling of different people, albeit enemies, in the same universe, specifically city that Batman's in. So why not? I think that's a great idea. Run with the James Bond universe. What the heck?
So we've got another similar thing to James Bond is that Ghostbusters is coming out, I guess, this summer, and they're flipping all the roles. They're kind of like gender flipping all the roles. So Chris Hemsworth, who is Thor, he is playing the secretary in Ghostbusters, and then they have this really great female cast playing all the main Ghostbuster characters. So in that the idea of let's do some gender flipping. I had a few different movies or strong female characters, and I was wondering what your take would be on a male to play those characters. So I only picked 5.
Okay.
And they're I put them in the notes a while back, so we'll take a look and see what these are. So let's start off with Evita, last famously played by Madonna, the South American Evita character. This is where I was really hoping Rob would be here, because he would come up with some great picks. He's very well versed in the whole movies and theater thing, and I thought Evita would be right up his alley. I don't know if I have great picks for that.
So Evita was a real character. Evita's a real person. So reinventing the role for a man would be. How do you do that? It's
that's exactly where I was going. Is that is such a historic character to reinvent that as a man is almost not possible, and have the same movie or the same story. You
could say the same thing about James Bond, even though he's not real. To reinvent that as a female would significantly change the story.
I think we just did. But anyway, I think it's part of the intrinsic part of that story is her being female in that role of changing the lives of an entire country. So. To make that a man, it's just I think the movie would be crap.
Okay.
It would just be boring.
Okay, let's skip the historical movies.
Let's make it.
Let's go to the next one. Not a real person, at least to my knowledge. Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Oh, so who's going to play Mary Poppins as a guy?
Just disturbingly creepy as a guy. Oh man.
The guy from Queer Eye for a Straight Guy.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be able to sing to little kids. So,
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Maybe.
No.
Also, the right generation.
He's creepy.
Now, my pick, I think for Mary Poppins. And I don't know that it's probably the best pick. Would have to be Doogie Howser, our great friend that's done a lot of great.
You know what? That would be fantastic. That would be a fantastic pick.
So Neil Patrick Harris, I think, could totally pull that off as a Mary Poppins character, and it's. Because the guy is talented. He's hilarious. Yeah. He's funny. He can sing. He can dance. Yeah. I think he would be an entertaining choice for that. So that would be my choice for that one.
And he could turn the whole thing into blogasodes.
He could. That would be hilarious. Yeah, he's done so many just incredibly entertaining things in the last several years that I think that would be a fun one to see. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at a little bit more modern one. Pretty Woman, which was out. I guess it's not too modern, but in the 80s.
Okay. I need to know, before you suggest, I need to know, are we gender flipping the entire cast?
Yeah, let's just gender flip the entire cast.
Because otherwise it's an entirely different movie.
So you need a male to play the hooker, and you need a female to play the Richard Gere role.
All right.
I think that would work, because the characters aren't...
have a movie.
The characters aren't established over decades.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take the same story and remake it with different genders in the roles, and I think it would work, although you'd probably, insult a bunch of people or something.
So who are you going to get to play those? So a very successful single female in industry.
Badass businesswoman? The president's wife from...
What you don't realize, guys, is that this movie's already been made. The gender-flipped movie of this is Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
Oh.
But it's a classic. It's a classic. It's been done. It's been done well.
Okay, so what's her name on House of Cards? Robin, is it Robin Wright?
Oh,
Oh.
Robin Wright, yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Wright. Yeah, she's kind of playing that role now to a large extent. That would be interesting. Let's put Robin Wright and Kevin Spacey into Pretty Woman. Just completely.
He's not pretty enough.
Oh.
Maybe Carrot Top.
He's not pretty enough.
Oh,
Good Lord, man.
how about Wolverine?
There you go.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I mean, you need the. That's what I was thinking too. Is you need those big superhero types to really take on that role and do it justice.
Hugh Jackman might do a good Mary Poppins too.
I don't know.
The man can sing and dance.
Can he dance?
Oh yeah, give
him an umbrella. What's he look like?
The 25 most beautiful men of all time has some interesting choices here.
So probably
Richard Gere.
No.
Well, he was in the movie, so we can just reverse roles if you like.
All right, so the last one, a little bit more fun, Charlie's Angels. So we got 3 angels, and what's his name? The guy that, not Charlie, but the other guy.
Bosley?
Bosley, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be a controversial movie to make, wouldn't it?
I think you cast Roseanne as Bosley.
Oh.
That is so perfect.
That's a good one. Roseanne is Bosley. I'm gonna go with Zac Efron as one of the angels.
Sure.
Appeal to the little bit younger crowd. God, what's his name? The guy that was in Magic Mike. Can't believe that. And he was actually. Yeah. I'll have to.
Well, I think if you're gonna go for the younger crowd, I think that's a good idea. I think for your third one though, you've got to have a breakout starring first timer in a movie to really jump in there, and I'm going to go with Justin Bieber. I think the Bieb's ready for acting.
Channing Tatum, who I was thinking. You know, he's a little too, I don't know, too scrawny. I don't know that he can actually act. I wouldn't necessarily pick him.
The Charlie's Angels was not really about acting.
No.
The TV series.
No.
Well, that's
it was
why
about
we
putting
have
hot women in compromising positions.
Okay, so we've got 2 kind of hot guys, Channing Tatum and Zac Efron. I think the last one that I would choose would be Ron Weasley.
Oh, Ron.
Yeah, because you gotta have one that's got a little, you know, that little bit more, you know, Rupert Grint, a little bit more, you know, able to actually pull off the idea that you could come up with an original thought to solve a crime. The other 2 guys are just there for eye candy.
So what you're saying is there's always one kind of librarian character that once they take off the glasses and let their hair down is actually really hot. You're calling Rupert Grint that character?
Yes.
I'm just going to let that lay there.
Okay. She's got some appeal. He's not a bad guy. But I do like Roseanne Bosley.
Yeah, I think you need a strong comic role, a strong-willed woman to take that role, and I think Roseanne would definitely fill it well.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so I think we're agreed. Leave James Bond as James Bond. Have another strong female movie, like an Alias type character that you bring up. And let's not do anything with Charlie's Angels or Mary Poppins.
But maybe Pretty Woman.
Maybe Pretty Woman.
Maybe just the same cast in all different roles. Let's just mix them up.
Flip them. Okay, I think that brings us to... Keith, play the music.
He's really not good with that, is he?
No, I'm out of it tonight.
If only we had a back channel to signal this stuff.
Yeah, here we go. There you go. Totally appropriate, right?
But Rob isn't here. And Keith, you guys make such a beautiful couple.
Oh, that wedding happened a long time ago.
Okay, so it's time for our half pint section. Getting away from that whole topic of those newlyweds. Half pints. So this is where we do our little pick. We'll let Keith go first since he never has one.
I never have one, and I'm just going to kind of bring up a one I made a few ago because I don't think anybody believed me that it was any good, and I'm still playing it, and it's still good. No, it's not Hearthstone. It's not Hearthstone. It's not Hearthstone. No, it's Fishing Break, which is totally free on iOS and just addictively fun. It's really good. Fishing Break. It's a little fishing game for iOS, but it's really deep, and I don't just mean the water. They've got tournaments you can play with other people. They've got little challenges. You can build a team. You know, if you guys all joined, we could be on the same team and compete in tournaments against other teams and stuff. It's really cool. It's got a lot of different levels to it. It's not easy to get from one level to the next. You can pay money to help yourself along the way, but you don't have to. The two types of currency in there's coins and there's dollar bills, and both are earnable in the game. You don't have to spend money on anything if you don't want. If you do want to basically buy out the game for a couple bucks, you get what's called the Coin Doubler package, and it is that just kind of doubles all your rewards. But honestly, I think that's cheating, so I don't even want to do that, even though I'm really loving the game. So yeah, just check out Fishing Break. It's stupid. You think, oh god, fishing games are so boring, but it is the perfect kill 5 minutes game. And I find myself playing it 2 and 3 times a day.
I'll check it out. Ridiculous Fishing is one of my favorite games of all time, so I will.
Yeah, this is kind of got a different sort of addiction than Ridiculous Fishing, because there's not nearly as ridiculous, but it is kind of fun the way you can collect different boats and different hats and different things that all seem to affect how well you do. Basically level up. It's kind of like the RPG of fishing games. So I don't know why. It seems to tickle some nerve somewhere that I have. And I never would have guessed that I would be into a fishing game for any length of time, and I've been playing it for like 3 weeks straight now, and I'll probably play it as soon as we finish up here.
Okay, I'm downloading it now.
Fishing Break. Okay.
Fishing Break. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna try to get that. So while Jeremy's downloading that game, I'm gonna do my pick. And my pick is something I actually got this week. I failed to use our link for the show because I didn't have it on my computer. I
forgot I was going to get you that.
Yeah, it's okay. I found it.
Good.
So I ordered the complete Battlestar Galactica series on Blu-ray, and there's actually a couple different versions on Amazon if you look at it. And Jeremy's going to put the link in the show notes to the one that I got because this is the I think it's the European version of it, and it's less than like a third of the price of the U.S. version, and it's exactly the same. So it's $54 for the entire Battlestar Galactica television series, which is great. And I think for the people on this show that have seen it, it's definitely one of the best television series around. Something you could certainly go back and watch over and over again, I think. So yeah, for $54 you can own the entire series on Blu-ray. If you go to the U.S. edition of that, which again, exact same content, it's $175 on Blu-ray. So
that's crazy.
I know. I was like, this can't be true. And I read through the Amazon comments, and all these people are like, yep, it works. It's fine. It plays in any Blu-ray. It's fine. It does have like the European ratings instead of being like whatever TV 14 or whatever the rating system is in the U.S. It has numbers like 13 or 15, which is the age they want. So the packaging is different, but it's all in English. It's all fine. So it does look slightly different than you would used to seeing for the American rating system, but the actual content on the actual disc is identical to the U.S. version from everything I've read, and from what I've seen. I've watched the first episode and a half of it so far, And it's great. I mean, it played fine, and my Blu-ray player had absolutely no issues. Surround sound, everything. It's the Dolby DTS Master Audio. It's great. So I highly recommend going with the import version of Battlestar Galactica, the complete series.
Cool.
Would make a great Father's Day gift if anybody is wondering for Rob or Keith or Jeremy. That would be great. So someone wanted to buy those.
I don't have a Blu-ray player.
Why does that not surprise me?
In one level it doesn't surprise me. In the other level, I'm just like, really, you hipster old man, you. What do you do? What do you do? You're still trying to play the movie off of vinyl?
He's got a laser.
You got a needle and
a laser disc player.
Yeah, you got a laser disc player.
When we moved, the old house had the TV built in. It was, like sunk into the wall and part of the whole house. So we just left it there, and we haven't replaced it since we moved. So we watch whatever from iPads or from the iMac if we want a big screen.
iMac.
The 27-inch iMac. Everybody gather around. It's time to watch TV.
It's good, and
awesome.
the weird thing is, it's in, as you can see from behind me. There. It's in our bedroom. So if we have guests over and we want to watch something, it's cuddle up, everyone. Let's watch TV.
I often have this fantasy of living alone again, which is obviously not possible with a family, which is why it's a fantasy, I guess. But I've often thought the same thing, that I could probably, the way the Macs all come with remotes and stuff, you probably really could get away with making an iMac, like one of the larger screen 30-inch iMacs, a decent sized TV.
Yeah, you'd think that would work really well, except that the newest iMacs don't come with remotes and they don't have IR sensors.
Oh, really? Oh, well. God damn it, Jobs, you screwed me again.
All right. So, Jeremy, you got a pick?
That makes it my turn. My pick are Grado headphones. I've been using these at work for, 3 or 4 years now, and I just love them more and more the more I use them. They're kind of weird looking. They're a little bit ugly, but they sound great, and they're comfortable. They fit me well. They're awesome. So if you're in the market for headphones, go check out Grado.
How are
they? I can't wait for my
isolation.
Not good at all, which is one of the things I like about them. They don't cut out everything around me, so I can still hear if somebody yells at me across the office. And they don't make my ears sweaty because they're on ear. They're not over ear. So if you need something that isolates your ears and cuts out noise, these are probably not what you want.
They look really cool and hipster, though.
You think they look cool? I think they're kind of ugly.
No, they kind of have a retro feel. Like I could see somebody on the Agent Carter TV show wearing these, and nobody would notice that they actually are modern and not from the 50s.
Mm.
Although headphones in the 50s were gigantic.
Yeah, my dad had a set of headphones. He had I can remember growing up, we had this. He had an entertainment center before entertainment centers were popular. Which had a bottom section in it. He built it himself. That had a room for a 13-inch black and white TV, which of course took up 40 inches across back then.
Yeah.
So it was nice and wide, and then above it he had a reel-to-reel tape player.
Sweet.
To the right of that was a small 8-track, and then above that was something else. Actually, I think that's where the headphones sat on that shelf, because they were a unit of themselves because they were so big. And then above that was the great big amplifier that ran everything, and then above that was the record player. He built this thing all out of pine and stained it and built it, and it was just a beautiful piece. But all the components too, in and of themselves, were beautiful pieces too. And I can remember sitting next to that, because you had headphones on and they were coiled, so you couldn't go far from that if you were going to listen to it in headphones.
Oh, right.
So basically you had to pull up a chair to the entertainment center to listen to some of the tapes or something. and he had like a bread concert live that I used to listen to over and over and over again. It's just fantastic on these great big cans that made me sweaty to wear them. But the sound was amazing, and I could not hear anything else. And I just kind of, there's a certain nostalgia in that for me.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I don't know why I just told you guys that. all that came flooding back in when I saw Jeremy's headphones.
It's like a stream of consciousness. It's cool.
It
The
really
old
is.
stuff was great.
Yeah.
I wish that I had kept some of the old stereo equipment that I used to have, especially some speakers that I had, because now they would be awesome and retro, but I got rid of them. So.
Well, I scour. My wife likes to go garage selling in the summer, and so I go and I always look for old electronics. I think my latest find, I'm going to move my camera around here, is that beast there, this old tape deck from like 1975.
That's cool, and
works
your
great.
Your audio is much better now too.
Well, yeah, I'm much closer to my mic now, so there you go. This is my Jeremy sounding voice.
I actually, my family wanted to hook up my old record player. I kept my record player, but my current amplifier that's in our living room doesn't have a phono input, and it doesn't have, because phonos are much lower signal than regular other components. So they actually, most of the old amplifiers had a preamp for the phono built in before they went to the normal amp. So it doesn't have that, so it wouldn't work. So I'm like, okay, I got to buy some kind of preamp, and I bought one off Amazon, and it sucked. It had a horrible hum, and it was not good, and it was like $30, so I returned it. And I'm like, you know, for $30, I could probably just find an actual old amplifier. And so that's what I did. It's probably the size of that tape deck, and it's, you know, they got the AM, FM in there, and I just ran the tape out of that into my regular stereo. So I'm actually using an old amplifier to power my record player, and the kids love it. They think it's fabulous.
Yeah, there's something beautiful about those old amplifiers that had, you know, the AM FM not dial but strip that went all the way across from one side to the other, was lit either amber or green with different lights behind it. You could see it, and there was like almost like a rubber band.
And then you could give the tuning
in.
knob a nice spin.
Yeah. Or there was a little resistance when it started because it was like, you know, you had to get the rubber band to move everything. It was
exactly.
So you had to get it rolling before it would actually start spinning. And yeah, there's definitely some great analog touch and feel out there, and it's out there. People are selling it and getting rid of it and throwing it away. So
go find it. I picked this up at a record store for like $30, so it's a good deal.
Yep.
All right. I think that's it. I think we have a show. Even without Rob, we still managed to take up a lot of time and talk about a lot of nonsense. So
yeah, somehow we managed to do it without him. It's not his fault, clearly.
It's not his fault. So I think it probably was a little bit more entertaining with him because he has that stage presence that I lack, and probably the rest of us do. So
yeah.
Sorry, Rob. Hope the weather gets better. Hopefully you're not flooded out.
Yeah. Well, you know, the problem with the houses in Texas is, you know, if a big storm comes by, you can't go into the basement to like hide it out because there isn't any.
That's true.
He's really stuck wherever he is on his stone floor. That's pretty much as best he can do. So wait there until help arrives, Rob.
Yep. So next time we'll be doing Trappist Rochfort number 6, the last one in our mini Trappist series, and then we'll be on to other things. So we'll see how Trappist 6 compares to 8 and 10.
I'd rather have lager than live. I'll take a strong stout over stride. I'd prefer to confer with a half pint of ale than live a long life till my private parts fail. For life without liquor is to no avail, so bring me lager for life. I'd rather have lager than live. I'll take a strong stout over stride. I'd prefer to confer with...
This is the part of the show where Rob would say something funny.